In a statement, the National Student Financial Aid Scheme has noted the outcomes of an investigation into a report relating to claims made by the organisation on doing tax abuse. OUTA claims that voice recordings in its possession show that the former scheme CEO was leaking board decisions and actions to two individuals linked to Coinvest. For some reaction to the findings, we're joined by South African Union of Students President Asive Dlanjwa. Asive, glad we've got you back on the line. Just speak to us about your perspective on the allegations made in the OUTA report against the former NSFAS board chair and the individuals linked to Coinvest.
Good afternoon, Hugo, and thank you very much for having us, and also afternoon to your viewers and listeners. We have noted the statement from NSFAS as it pertains to the investigation from the OUTA allegations, and I suppose it is a little bit confusing based on the fact that apparently the investigation did not come to any find any evidence to support the claims made by OUTA, although we note, however, that the recommendations indicated that the chair, and amongst other recommendations, for instance, that he would have acted or that he should have informed the board about his conversation with service providers, etc., which were a product of the OUTA allegations. But I suppose for the most part, we've noted those outcomes.
Now, how do you think these allegations and the subsequent investigation have impacted the students who rely on NSFAS for financial aid? Do you think there's been any moving of the needle?
Look, not necessarily as it pertains directly to the issues affecting students. However, I would imagine that obviously as it pertains to the stability of the scheme, it has had an impact. And anything that impacts on the stability of the scheme ultimately, or even though indirectly sometimes, will eventually have an impact on the day-to-day running, which will then inform the experience of the students on the ground. But in themselves directly, the allegations did not necessarily pose any threat to the day-to-day running of the scheme.
Siva, how well do you think NSFAS has communicated these issues and their implications to the students?
Look, they have consistently been communicating, if we are honest, but I suppose more than communication, what students want is assurance and certainty that they will receive their allowances on time every month, and that there will not be issues regarding their funding. That's what they need more than anything, a sense that the stability and that the scheme would not crash in any way. But as it pertains to the nitty-gritties of the allegations, it's not here or there whether students are communicated to or not, unless we're able to certify and give students confidence as it pertains to the certainty of the ability of the scheme to carry out its mandate towards the students.
How confident are you that the new leadership, or at least the new appointee who's on contract, I think, for a 2-year period, will make a change to the many challenges that students are finding with NSFAS?
We hope for the best. History teaches us that administrators have not necessarily done well in the past in the scheme, but we are hoping for the best. It's a pity that most of the people that were implicated in the wrongdoing, they're still there. We can only hope for the best.
So I don't know if hope is the best thing. Do you think enough is being done to deal with those issues? What is the sort of engagement that you've had, certainly with the minister responsible for NSFAS, if at all?
On our side, not much of what we have said must happen has been done. Most of the people that are problematic at NSFAS still remain at NSFAS. So for us, really, it's not, until we can deal with those issues, structural issues, really some of the problems will most probably persist. We've got to get rid of some people that were absolutely useless, as we've contended for almost 8 months now.
Have you had any direct interaction with Dr. Bladen Zamande?
Not post the release of the statement, nor the appointment of the administrator.
And prior to this, is he aware of some of these areas that you're concerned with?
Absolutely. We've met and discussed with him many a times, over and over.
And what have those discussions yielded? I mean, has he given you any assurances, or is it just a discussion and post the discussion, no movement?
There are commitments that is made, Hugo. And there is a sense that he's listening, but not to the extent to which we see work being done. For instance, I've given you one example now, that the majority of the staff complement at NSFAS are absolutely incompetent and useless, and up until today, they still remain. That's our contention. And still,